are able to do that. I hope we have done something like we have cloned it, edited it, added, staged it, and then committed it, and then pushed it. These are the things that we have done last class. Please let me know if that works for you, because I want everyone to be done that particular part, because these are the major, it is the heart of the entire Git process. Because when you learned it, right, these are the common tasks or common things you would be doing it. Okay, and remaining would be something like kind of someone will do that, like merging and tagging and everything will be doing by the leads and technical architects and the owners. They would be doing it out. But even if as a fresher or experienced person, or whatever it may be, if you are working on a, if you are working on one minute, guys, I think. Okay, okay, sorry, yeah, I cancelled it. Okay, my system was about to restart. I canceled it, no problem. Okay, so what I was telling is the commands that we have executed last class is common for everyone and is very important also, especially like pushing the changes into the GitHub repositories. Okay, this is what we have learned last class. Please let me know if you have any questions. Okay. Okay, today what I want is, can someone confirm me, did we talk about Maven? I thought but please confirm me, Maven related, because, okay, did we talk Maven? Yeah,
Hello.
yeah,
Yeah,
Naveen.
no.
Did we talk to
Yep.
Maven and compiled a Maven project, and then MVN clean, MVN test, MVN, package? Did we try that?
No, no, we not.
We did not. Okay, okay,
No.
cool. Okay, sorry. I thought it could be some other thing. Okay, fine. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, why we want talk is only Git, right? Okay, why?
Yeah,
Because
only Git and GitHub the things. Bash
okay,
plans.
okay. Okay, Maven is one of the build tool. Why? I mean, why I just thought of it is, when you are working in any project, right? That project would be using some other build tool. Okay, for example, if you are using a Java technology, right, Java tool for their programming language, they would be using some build tool. If it is a Java, it will be build. If it is if it is in Python, there is something called X. And if there is some other thing, Scala, it will be SBT. If it is a JavaScript, so it will be Grunt. So these are the some of the build tools. Okay, let me tell you what is build tool here. Right? A build tool is again, of course, it is a tool, but it will make your entire application life cycle easy. Okay, for example, if you want to maintain the life cycle of a particular Java project, it is very difficult because the project contains a huge amount of the files. It's not a single file, it will be a bundle of the files, or it's a huge in file if it is a project. Okay, so you can't maintain that. For example, let me take you an example. If you write a small Java program, what you do, you would do Java C compile, Java C, Java C command and the Java program name. And if you want to execute Java and then executable file, that's it. If it is a single Java file. But in case of a multiple huge files, you have to use some build tool which will make easy kind of thing for you guys. For example, I'll put it this way. If you are applying any of the
Are
for
you
example,
sharing any screen? I can't see any screen.
okay, and not yet shared, Naveen. Let me
Yeah.
share it too, because that's would be probably better than explaining it here. Okay. I hope you can able to see my screen now. Fine.
Yes. Thank you.
Right. I'm talking about the build tools, especially in Maven. Okay. Of course, I mean, there is a, I mean, this is what I'm talking about here, right? So before, this is somewhat a high thing, but let me put it this way. 1 minute, let me, okay, let me put it this way. Okay, fine. Okay, so before running this build tools, Maven, build tools, Maven, build tools, DevOps. Mm, I'm looking for the one of the diagram which would be easily understandable for everyone. I mean, there is a list of build tools for the different languages. Okay. In this case, we are learning. Okay, this is a Java, and for the Java, Maven is one of the build tool which would be helpful to manage the entire Java project lifecycle in terms of goals. We'll call it as a life cycle. Will be in a different things like the goals, the pom.xml. We'll talk in a minute. But what I want is the overview of that particular tool is, for example, if you want to apply some kind of a data birth application or some application in MRO officers, I think you might have heard about or you might have experienced earlier days. I'm not talking about nowadays because it is everything was online now. Earlier days, what you need to do is you have to apply or you have to write some kind of urge to MRO or some respective authority person, right? In that, what you need to do is you have to take a paper and then write a kind of a big letter and then attach some kind of a stamps and then you have to do it. That's a big process. Nowadays, what did happen is there is a pro forma, like there is an application form. You just need to fill that instead of writing the entire huge letter, right? You just need to fill that application and then it will work for you. I mean, it will be easy for you and as well as the others also, like government guys also. Meaning the framework has been enabled to make it fast and easy, right? Similar way, if we are using a native Java project or native Java writing language, I mean Java projects, it will be very difficult to maintain the entire life cycles of all these programs that you have written for the entire project. But if you adopt some kind of a build tool, what does it tell you is it will ask you, please configure or please tell all your project related information under the pom.xml. There is a file called pom.xml. You define all your configurations here as the centralized configuration file and then update this, then I'll take care of it. once you have defined all your details under the pom.xml, I'll give you some set of commands or instructions or goals such as package, clean, install, and all. So then I'll take care of remaining all the files. That's what this framework or this build tool will give you. Here, this guy is saying that there is a one read the pom.xml. In the pom.xml, you define all your configurations. Configurations can be the application settings or the dependence. For example, applications need to applications need to connect to the database, right? That database, if you want to connect to that database, you should have a dependency with the MySQL connector or MongoDB connector or JDBC SQL driver, right? For example, if you are working with the Google APIs, you have to include the Google APIs library as a dependency to your project. Like that, you have to include all your dependencies into the pom.xml. Maven, what does it do is it will take care of downloading those libraries and then keep it under your local repository. Again, the repository comes here. Okay, it is not related with the GitHub repository. This is a Maven repository. There is something called Maven repository, which is acts like a centralized location where you can download all the jars or all the Maven related libraries. I'll open and show you also. Okay, apart from this giving you pom.xml, it will provide it will provide some kind of a life cycles like mvn, package it, clean it, install it. We will learn about all this is here. Okay. So, but now we just talked about Maven, which is since the project is a Java related. What if it is a Python? Okay. There is something similar build is called X. Okay, which will easy to maintain the Python related binaries and builds also. Okay, there is some relevant file related to the Python. But if you join a company and if the project is something related to the Scala, they have written some project application, there will be a respective build tool. For example, SBT can be used, or for the Java, SBT, Maven and SBT, both you can be using. For example, if you join in a company and they are working in a Golang, there will be having their own respective build tool here. I don't know what is the build tool for the Golang, but there will be uh, you know some build tool will be there. Like this, you have to, if you are working in any of the project, you have to understand what is their respective build tool. Most of the companies will only tell you, okay, this is our build tool, and to execute that build tool they'll give you set of commands, and then you have to learn about it. That's you need to know. For example, if our thing is Maven clean, ambient package, okay, package, install, verify, okay. So there are a lot of commands related to the Maven, related to the Python also, py, and py install, and there is something called pip also. Pip is kind of a build as well as a repository, package manager also. Okay, so we don't need to know all this, but at least we have to know the Java at least. Why? Because first we will manually execute, we will take a one Maven related project and then execute couple of phases and then generate a jar file. Okay, meaning generate an artifact and it's ready to upload into the artifactory management tool. For example, JFrog or Nexus. Okay, same steps we will repeat when we are learning about the Jenkins, but through a pipeline script. Here we in this GitHub, what we do is we'll learn a Maven related project and different phases manually. While we are learning a Jenkins, we will write the same pipeline. We'll write a pipeline which we will do the same work. Like it has to clone it, compile it, clean it, package it, and then generate a jar, and then publish it. So this we will write a pipeline here. That's why we are doing manually here. And any questions, guys? If you have any, please let me know. Is it clear? It's, I mean, I would suggest, I mean, if we skip this, it's a fine, but at least I want you know, for example, if someone has pulled you in a new project which you do not know at all, and how to deal with that, just simply you find what is the exact relevant build tool for their language or for their tool, and then come try to read some documentation and make some kind of alignment and create a one your own pipeline of it. I mean, one small set of instructions or steps in your notepad. Okay, this is a Java project. Okay, Maven is the build tool for this Java project. Okay, Maven has some kind of a life cycle. These are the commands I have to execute. Once every steps are confirmed, I have to write a pipeline. That pipeline can be Jenkins pipeline or a shell script, or it's based on the requirements. You have to analyze and then start looking or start thinking this way. That's why I want you to, to show and then understand this Maven project at least. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. I want a confirmation from you. Okay. I want a confirmation waiting for you. Please confirm if it is working or if you are okay. I'm bringing up my VM. Now, what I do is I'll make sure I do work with the Java here. I mean, the Maven project. In order to work the Maven project, first I should have a Java installed. Then I'll be doing it out here. No response, guys. I want a confirmation. So Nanda, I won't have about things. Naveen, Tejashwi, Chandrasekhar, Kiran, I want a confirmation, guys. If you are not responding me, I can go like whatever I thought. I thought everything has been clear for you guys, and then I'll move on. Please confirm me if you're stuck, if you're not able to understand. This would help us to have engaged, and then session would be very helpful. Okay, I'm assuming I'm assuming everything is okay since no one is responding, but still that's not the good sign. Okay. Okay, thanks,
No,
confirmation.
we already respond in the
Okay.
chat group.
Right, right. Thanks you guys. Clear. Okay, let's move on then. Okay, I hope you can able to see my screen. I'm trying to log into my machine. Okay, 107. What I'm gonna do is I found so I'm using instead of I'm using putty, I'm opening the PowerShell and then directly logging in. This will act like a Linux client SSH. Username learner at the rate 19.168.0. I guess 103, right? Okay, 107. Yes. Password. Okay, clear. Okay, sure. Right. Okay, who am I? What happened? Okay, cool. So the thing is, okay, now let me check. Do I have Java installed in it? Okay, yes. And let me check whether do I have a Java home configuration. It's, yeah, nothing. Okay, the prerequisite. So what we are doing is we would be installing a Java and then we would be installing a Maven. Since in my case I have already installed the Java 17, but I do not have a variable configured. I mean, I do not have a variable called Java home, but this is a very important to have this variable configured in our system if we want to work Maven project. Okay, so this is what thing. Then we will be installing the Maven also here. Okay, so what we do is these are the instructions here. Okay, I don't want this. Please make sure which Java you would be getting, but the thing is you have to find the exact one. Okay, etc alternatives here. Okay, 1 minute. Update alternatives config Java. Okay, guys. This is the actual one. Okay, user JVM 07. Okay, cool. Okay, so let me repeat what I've just been done here. Yeah. So what I've just done is I've just been checked whether my Java home environment variable is being configured or not. I just printed it out. This what this command is doing is it will just display. I mean, echo statement will just display your variable. Okay, in a shell script or in command prompt, if you want to print a value of a particular variable, you have to append with the dollar sign. Okay, whenever you find some variable starting with a dollar means it's a variable of a shell script. Okay, or it's a variable of a your shell prompt. Okay, that's you can understand. Then what I executed is there is a command called which Java. Okay, which Java is a command which will tell you the binary paths or the path of a Java where it has been coming from. Okay, if I want to execute this particular, okay, what I've used is there is a command called a history here. Okay, and when you type a history, it will just list out what are all the commands you have just executed it. If you want to repeat it again, right, what you need to do is exclamatory mark the particular history command number. For example, I want 92, which Java I need to be executed. If I just type like this, I mean, this is one of the small thing related to the Linux now. But since I got a chance, I was just telling you, okay, this is how we do execute it. Okay, you don't need to copy and paste it and then execute again. Just exclamatory and particular number would help you. Okay, this way we would be getting a where the Java has been coming from, what is the path it has been created. Okay, this has been given here. But the problem is with this, if we configure this path as a Java home, it will complain about other things also. It will complain about I want a JRE, not a JDK. That's what it will tell you. So what I've done is I have immediately executed another command. It will tell me how many Java versions have been installed. So what does it telling you is I want 96 to be executed. It is saying, okay, it is saying there is only one alternative, that is this one, and that is this is the path. Okay, this is the path, and if I copy and check slash bin, okay, okay, this is what it has been showing here. Why? Because, right, when we are setting a Java environment variables, we have to set the entire JDK, not only the one here. So that is what we have to do it. Okay, otherwise Maven will complain here. Okay, first what we do is, without doing that, we will configure. Let's face an issue with that, and then we'll fix it. So this way you will understand what will happen. Otherwise, if I directly tell you this is the solution for this problem, we may not remember. Let's face an issue, then we will do that. Okay, this is just a guide to install a Maven. Okay, let me execute this. Okay. Okay, what we are doing is, we are just downloading a one tar.gz file which is related. Okay, this is a JDK, not this one. Okay, fine. Mm, Installation of the Maven. This is what we want. This is the URL to download a Apache Maven directory, Maven project, which is in the tar.gz file. Okay, and wget is a command to download a particular file from a command. If it is in a browser, we'll just click it, it will auto download it. Otherwise, there will be a separate hyperlink which will just click on it, it will automatically download it. But in case of a command line, wget you would be using to download a particular thing. Okay, now let's execute it. And okay, now it's downloaded here. This is the Maven project. The it does not have any permission, that's why it is showing you the red color. If we give a execute permission, it will automatically show green, or uh, get away from the red color also here. Okay, now what this guy is saying is, okay, so extract it here. So I don't want extract here. I want, what I do is, okay, let's Java, cd Java. I want previous one to be copied here. Now this is where I'll be extracting it. Okay, this is the command to extract tar.gz file here. Okay, but if your file is a zip file, we would use some other command called unzip it. Since our file is in the tar.gz, you have to find a respective command for that based on the format that you got. Okay, it got generated here. It got extracted here, and it has been just you know uh, it just extracted, and we got this folder. Now what this guy is saying is, he is moving to opt folder. Opt folder is especially one of the file system directory which will come as a default of Linux, where we will keep the third party softwares or optional software. That's why it is always recommended, if you are installing any of the software through binaries, it's always recommended to move to opt folder. Binaries means like manually downloading those binary, downloading that software and then configuring, right? It's always preferable to configure those things in the opt folder. If you are directly installing Maven through apt-get install, right, you don't need to do that. It will maintain on their own respective folders itself. Okay, since we are doing it manually, it's recommended to use that part here. It is saying permission needed because by default opt folder will be owned by the root user. So I just use the Maven folder. Now let me check opt folder and see. Okay, this is where, okay, this is being copied. Okay, now what this guy is saying is, he is asking us to configure the M2 home directory. What does it do? This is also one of the variable that we have to execute in order to configure this M2 home directory, okay, which is one of the environment files here. then you are just adding your home environment variable, I mean M2 home environment variable to existing path. Okay. Before executing this, what I want to see is I want to see what is the value of path variable. Okay. This is the value of this particular path variable. Okay. If you execute this particular command, what will happen is the value which is inside this M2 home will be appended to above output here. That is what it is being going to do. Now let's add it and then now let's display it. See, it just appended OPT Apache Maven 3.6.3 pin. That's it, nothing else. So what you need to do is, if you, for example, if you type a CD, when you type CD or LS, the compiler know where the binaries of LS related. Okay, because it's been configured. At the same time, when you type Maven, your compiler should know the okay, the Maven directory is under this bin directory. It will automatically. If you does not configured, it will automatically it won't show you. I mean, it won't find it and then complain you command not found. That's why you have to configure environment variables in the command prompt. Okay, so this is the process which is happened here. Okay, export path, you are just exporting it, whatever the changes that you have done under the path, you are just exporting it, and that's it. Now let's verify Maven version here. Let's see what does it do here. As in our steps, we should have a install like, I mean, we should get an output like this. Now let's see here. Okay, it's clearly saying, okay, Apache Maven 3.6.3, Maven home directory, and the Java version which has been using, this is the one. Okay, we did not configure the Java home, but still this guy knows, since we did not, right? If we install Java with these binaries, we have to configure these home directories. Okay, if you remember initially, we install apt-get install Java. So automatically these guys would have been finding out where the Java of 17 was installed and all. Any questions, guys, or is it confusing you? Please let me know. Okay. Okay. Now what I'll do is, please confirm. I want a confirmation. Okay. 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 Yeah, clear. Thanks, Nana. So, okay, what we are doing is now, so we have understand how to install a Maven, and then what are the steps here. Okay. Similarly, now let's do a small exercise here, and then do the respective things here. And then we will download actual things. I mean, we will applying it here. Okay, once the installation is done, you would be creating a Maven project. Okay, now let's see that what does it mean here, how to create that Maven project and all. Okay, this is a command. You would be executing it when you want to create a Maven directory. To Maven command, you have to pass a multiple argument called group ID, artifact ID, at architect type of an artifact ID, and at the same time archetype version and interact mode is false. Let me tell you what are all this here. You are saying please create a type which is in, please generate it, and the group ID is com.mycompany here. So what I do is mylearner dot FB. This is my application name. And if someone want to refer, my project, this is how they would be referring it here. com.learner.fp. And my artifactory ID is learner FB here. And Maven artifactory quick start here. I'll tell you what does it mean. whatever the information that you have given here, it will use this information and generate a pom.xml. Okay, and then we will see all this information just in just a minute. Now let me execute it here. Because everything should be in a command line, we did use the enter command. That's why we have been doing it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna uh, executed it. What does it is doing is it's just downloading all the Maven related plugins by default, and then downloading from this particular centralized Maven related repository. And then let's see what does it contain here. Okay, this is a Maven repository and it has all kinds of libraries. For example, I want something related to the MySQL. Okay, if I come here, there are MySQL related, POM related libraries. This is where you would be giving of these versions. Ultimately, you would find a jar here. Okay. Similarly, once you have compiled or packaged your project, you would getting a generated jar, and then you will publish. If it is open source, you will publish it in the MySQL, Apache Maven repository. If it is a private one, you would be using a Nessus or JFrog to maintain your artifact. This is an artifact. Okay, artifact is nothing but a file in the compressed format, which could be var file or jar file or zip file or .cz. Okay, the place where you manage or store those artifactory is called artifactory repositories. Okay, that is a JFrog or Nessus. Some people will use a S3 for their storage purpose, as S3 as their artifactory management tool also. Okay, don't confuse about that. Where are we here? Okay, we still okay. It is compiled. Okay, so this is what it has been just downloaded here. Now let's check. Since once we have executed this command, what does it mean? It generated a thing called mylearner.fb. This is my folder name, and then this internally using it here. Now let's understand the folder structure of this Maven guy. Okay, I do not have something called tree. Why I want is I want when you do this thing, right? The folder structure looks like this. Under your folder, there is a file called pom.xml, which is very important. After that, there is an src folder. There will be a lot of respective and the test folders also, respective files and folders. We don't need to care about this. Only we have to care about the pom.xml because this is a configuration kind of a file that we would be dealing with the Maven command. Okay, so let's see what is there. If you want to get the same thing, right? There is a command called install tree. Okay, I'm just going into my directory which I just created related to the Maven. I'll just type a tree here. Okay, this is the structure. I do have a pom.xml, and this is the path, and this is the thing. I don't care about it. Now let me on the let me open the pom.xml here. How it looks like. Pom.xml is one of the XML format where you would be finding all the information. This is the group ID, and this is an artifact ID. This is the version, and this is the name of your project, and the properties. If you have anything, right, it will be defined under here. Okay, for your application called mylearner.fb, you just providing what version of a Maven you are providing here, and that's it. If you are providing any external configuration, you would be mentioning or under the properties tag here. Okay, and my learner FB project have a one dependencies, and that dependency name is a JUnit related. For example, If your project have a dependency with the MySQL or third-party libraries or payment gateway systems or any of the dependency libraries, you would be adding that information under the dependency here. Okay, so now let's see. These guys also telling the same thing. Okay, this is the properties you would be getting, and this is the one thing here. Now let's take a one real open source project and see how their pom.xml looks like. Before going that, is it clear? Are you able to follow me on this pom.xml, what this information contains here? I want a confirmation, you guys. Waiting for your confirmation. I want a confirmation here. Okay. Okay, not getting any response. Please confirm, you guys. Okay, what I've just opened is, this is one of the online XML viewer. Generally, I do use if because to understand easily than going in a command line prompt. Okay, so to help me, what are the properties, names, how it is, what is the tree structure, and the what are the chains for that. That's easily I can able to understand after viewing this web UI. Okay. Okay, now let's open one of the. There is a project called Bhamini, which is one of the open source project related to the health management system or hospital management systems. Okay, and under the Bhamini, there are a lot of sub projects here. Bhamini core, default config, EMR functionality text, open ills, open modules. These are all the modules related to Bhamini project, which is a hospital management system. For example, if you know some hospital or some clinic, right? If they are looking related, if they are looking for a software which would suit for their hospital management system, I mean for their hospital needs, right? You would easily prefer the Bhamini project. Bhamini has a lot of modules related to all the things here that they have developed in using I mean Java, which is again Maven as their build tool, and each are the one of the Java project here. Okay, let's take about the Bhamini core here now. Okay, let's see. If you see, whenever you see any source code of any of the project, first look for the pom.xml. Or if you find a pom.xml, means it is a Maven project. This is how you can easily identify. Now let's open pom.xml here. Under the pom.xml, this is their group ID, meaning this is their project name called Bhamini, and the version is 1.2.0, and the packaging is this. Bhamini actual package is Bhamini EMR core, and this is the URL, and this is the description, this is the license. These guys are the developers, and this is the source code management related commands. And this has a sub modules. The sub modules is this Bhamini EMR core, EMR API, core API. There is a lot of configurations that they have been done here. Meaning, whenever they do execute this pom.xml or refer this pom.xml, or when you type mv and just install, automatically it will read this pom.xml, understand this entire configuration, and then execute accordingly. Okay, so if let's take our pom.xml, we have just defined our group ID artifact and name, URL, that's it. And it has a lot of projects here. The real-time projects looks like exactly the same way. Okay, but may not be these many dependencies. At least 3 to 4 dependencies it may have. Okay, I'll show you one more real-time project which I work as a consultant for them. Okay, so you will easily understand. That is a I'll show you when we are learning about the Jenkins, because it is a Java Maven based, but it is a microservices. Okay, again it's a Spring Boot based one using a Maven, and it has a child Spring Boot, all the thing. I'll show you one day. Okay, but this is a good example if you want to know how some little bit complex kind of thing, that if you want. Okay, so okay, now this project Bhamini core has these many properties as a settings here. Okay, these many properties, these are all related to the properties. Okay, and it has a, where is the dependencies here? Yeah, these are the dependencies. So this has a dependency of Bamani module, Bamani EMR API, OpenLNS's client module, admin module, HRNA, Crest module, Bamani core, OMAD, audit log. These are all the dependencies. Meaning, what does it do is it will go to the Maven repositories plugin and then look for this particular artifactory ID. So this way it will download all their dependencies. Okay. So this is what how they have defined their entire Maven project of a Bamani open source, which is open source. It is a live. People are a lot of them, almost 2,500 NGOs are recommended to a medium-sized hospitals to use this Bamani project, especially in South Africa and USA. Still, if you want to contribute, if you are developer or any some other as a tester or DevOps person, you can go and rise, look for what are the tickets are open, and then start working on. Okay, we don't need all of this. What we just need is why I showed you is this is how a small complex of a pom.xml looks like. Okay, now let's get back to our any questions, guys. Any questions? Okay, fine. I hope it is fine. Now what I do is what we have done is we just created a project. Now let's do one of the a phase called Maven package. What does it do is there are a lot of phases. These phases are this validate, generate sources, process sources, generate resources, compile. All these are the some of the phases. Okay, validate, compile, test, package, integration test, verify, install, deploy. These are the phases that we do regularly work, not like regularly, mainly install, verify, package, test, compile. These are the phases. Let's execute a few couple of them. I mean, few of them. MVN compile. What does it do is if you write some changes in the Java files and then you have to compile it, in order to get those changes as inside a jar, you have to use a compile. Okay, and when you do compile, what does it do is it will automatically compile your changes and generate it will show if there are any errors. After compiling it, what you do is package it. Okay, if you have anything related to the test packages, you just type up tests also. What does it do is whatever the test cases that you have written under the test folder here, right, it will execute those test cases, okay, under this folder. Okay, now it's downloading all the Maven related test cases. It's saying total tests run is 1, 0 failures, 0 errors, 0 script, and time elapsed is 0.064 seconds. Okay, and build is success. We have executed a compile test. Now what we do is MVN package. See, if you see the output of it, it's downloading the Maven related plugins, all the necessary things here. Okay, so this is one thing. See here, when you do package, the jar, right, it is generated under the here, under the, this is the path of it. Under the target folder, there is a jar file. Okay, this is your build. This is where you would be shipping to your customer or store it in your artifactory management here. Okay, let's look at my learner fb1.jar file here. Okay, so this is the jar file. Now let's see how to generally execute it. This is simply, right, this is how, where is this guy? Yeah, this is how execute your entire. Okay, I think my thing is, I guess my learner form.xml. Before do this, just let me see what I've been configured in the form.xml. My learner FB. Forget my learner. This is our thing. What is the problem here is nothing. I mean to say, we have changed our package names, right? Here, what they have suggested is they have given com.mycompany.app we have given, right? And this is our directory name here. And we have done some changes, right? So my learner FB, and this is what we have done here. Okay, right? Okay. So similar way, since we have changed here, what we do is our this file name is my learner fb dot jar. Okay, our company name which I have given here is form dot learner of fb here. Okay, let's try this now. Say we got a something. I mean, this is a command to execute how to run a jar file of a Maven project. Okay, in a real time or when you join a company, right? They would give you this command. You don't need to struggle to generate or to find out what are all the commands to generate this jar, because developers know how to do that. They will give you a Java command how to execute this particular jar file along with uh, all their dependency arguments, and if there is any extra arguments it has, they would know about. I mean, they will pass to you. Okay, you don't need to struggle about it. Okay, now just we'll do a quick one more thing here. What we do is, let's clone it. I mean, what we do is we'll compile this Bamani code here. I'm gonna fork it. What does it mean fork here is, I'll create a fork branch, meaning whenever you create either two things in a GitHub repository, you would be using you would be using something, either you download it or you can directly contribute it. Yeah. Okay. There is another way is, if you want to contribute, but you don't, I mean, you don't want, I mean, others don't want your changes in their repository, what they would suggest you is, they will ask you to do fork it. Fork is like copying the same repository in your in your own GitHub repository. I mean GitHub account, not in their account. Okay. For example, if I want to contribute, I can do some changes directly here and then raise a pull request and then do a lot of things, but they won't accept it. What they suggest to use, they will fork it. Meaning there are almost 250 people has already forked in this particular branch into their one. Okay. So now the what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do the fork in my repository. Under the my repository, this is I'm the owner. I'm using Git learning. Let it be like this. Let it be like this. Not only master branch, everything. Okay. So what does it is going to do is it will just create this. Okay. Fork it. So whatever the changes that I'm going to do it on my this particular branch, it will be there in the under the my account only, but it won't be doing it in their account. So always the best practice is if you want to contribute, first fork it and then do the changes. Don't do directly on their branches or their repository here. Okay. Now I got created the Bhamani core, and this is the project. Okay, now if I want to work for this project, what I do is I need to clone it. This is my cloned URL. Now let me go to, so this is it about the Maven related. Now what I'm going to do is I'm taking another Maven open source project, which is a Bhamani core now, and then clone it and then compile it and see what is happening here. Okay, right? I don't use this folder, and here also. Now what I'll do is, where did I done here? Oh, fine. Okay, I'm just git clone here. Okay, it is going to under from my Naren repository, Naren 970 repository. It is there is a folder. I mean, there is a repository called bamani.code.git. It is just downloaded here. Now let me check here. Okay, now let me check. Okay, by default, there is a branch called master. I mean, whenever it is cloned, by default, it will download a master only. If you want a particular thing, what you need to do is you switch particular branch and then copy this HTTPS URL. So it will download the BAH13270 branch instead of a master here. Okay. If I want to know how many branches are there in repository, I mean in remote, so these many branches are there in remotely. What are the branches locally means? This is the only the one. Okay. Now let's check pom.xml here. Okay, there is a pom.xml. These are the cores here and everything. Now let me do is mvn clean here. What does it happen is mvn clean, mvn install, mvn package. Okay, I'm executing all these three phases in a single term here. Okay, so we can execute it, but we won't do it right away because at the time of packaging it, we may get an error related to some of the dependencies. I'm expecting, but not sure. Let's try this. So it is going to execute three phases. It may take a lot of time, not like a lot of time, at least some time. It is downloading, it is cleaning the existing repository, and then install the dependencies again, and then finally package it. Before packaging it, it would be compiling it and then generate a jar. Okay. Okay. Now, meanwhile, I want you a confirmation what is happening. Is it okay? Are you able to follow me, or any questions on this? Why we are talking about this is it is very necessary when you join a company, right? You have to do this. I mean, you at least you have to already developers know about it, how to compile their own project using their own build tool. But as a DevOps person, you should also aware of this, and you should also automate this using a pipeline, either Jenkins or some Bitbucket pipeline or GitLab pipeline. That's why you need to know about it. Now what we have done is we just seen the Maven related, how to deal with the Maven related, and what are the phases here. The same thing we would be automating using a Jenkins. And you may ask, since we are learning the Git, why would be doing it? Why would be doing it? There are some Git related project which you can easily execute, or which you can understand the concept with a huge set of a repository. Meaning, for example, if I want to see the remote branches like this, if you want to create a multiple branches, you can do on your own. But if it is in kind of a real time some kind of a project, right? It will be good. You can also easily comparable with writing a one single file and then committing it, doing changes, right? That will be differ here. Any questions, guys? I mean, these are some of the important things that at least we need to know build via build concepts. Okay, I mean, really under the build concepts here, and we learn about the Maven part, and here we would apply some related Git concepts now here. Okay, especially remote changes, tagging it, we would be doing it also here. But yeah, I think we can stop it here for today, and tomorrow we will be continuing it. But before moving, I just want a confirmation. Is it clear or any questions? I'm assuming it's clear. If not, we should be come up. I mean, someone has asked me the questions. They have some issues with this configuring their Maven related project. I think that guy is not here. Okay, guys. I hope this is enough for today, and we will be talking. I mean, we'll meet tomorrow and then continue from there. All again related to the Git paths.